So that's going into the skin. Let's see. Y'all. Okay. I already know what he think. Get on him and he said, "Oh no." Try that with you guys, baby. The face is still sitting. Granted, I wasn't doing anything. It's now like 4:30. Okay. Again, hungers right now. So yeah, I am definitely binging all the things all at once. And it's funny. I don't know if I'm doing it crazily. So we're about to start this steak and broccoli TV dinner. It's giving Salisbury steak to me, and I don't like Salisbury steak, but we gonna see. We gonna see. Update. Pretty good. Wasn't giving Salisbury steak, but it was giving. I went to Burger King to get a hamburger patty and came home and made some broccoli. Broccoli was hitting. Also, not a lot of food. Definitely gonna be still hungry. I don't know who these TV dinners before, but I still be hungry. Okie dokie. Good morning, you guys. So I am. Well, darn if I knew you were gonna go out. Just went to get Jelly Bean some formula, and I saw there are lots of things on clearance in there, and I was super excited at first until I was looking like, wait a minute, are these the clearance that, if you know, you know. But when I looked at it, it doesn't look like all of them are those, because some of them are like, it's not the whole line of products. It's like certain things, so that makes me feel like it's not what we think it is. But I do want to go back, because y'all know I started on that new brand of shampoo and conditioner I got. They have a seal it oil that is on clearance, and I didn't see that in the other Walmart that I normally go to. This is the one, I'm at the one that's closer to Daniel's school, so I kind of want to, I'm hoping I'm gonna stop by tomorrow, because it's payday, and I just spent my spending budget for this paycheck, child. So I'm gonna get that, because I'm, well, I haven't said, trying to do better with my hair, which I don't do terrible, but I can be a lazy natural. And when we were at the midwinter conference, I went to, yeah, it's my real hair session with a professional celebrity stylist from New York. And he was giving some good tips for natural hair. And so, honestly, the funny part about it is a lot of the tips we were given, minus the split end things, I do not do good with that. But I'm going to try this year to make sure that I get a trim every 3 months. And the issue with that is not that I don't want to get it trimmed, is I don't want to blow dry. I really hate blow drying my hair. I've hated blow drying my hair even when I was relaxed. I can't stand it. Can't stand it. And I definitely can't stand it now, because you can't, it's gonna take more work. So that's really the patience of blow drying it, really. That's it. That's it. But I'm going to work to do that, and I think I am going to go ahead and dye my hair, but I think I'm going to just dye it. I'm just going to pretty much color my roots the same color I already have it, just until things settle, because my hair never really got too orange anyway. the ginger that I wanted it. And I've had that for a while, just in case when I go back to work, some things have changed. I hate to roll up in there with magenta hair, and especially if I had to, because it's gonna be a 2-step process anyway, because I have to dye my root, all the black, it ain't even the roots no more, because I haven't dyed my hair since last year. I mean, a whole year. So I have to dye the black part of my hair to what this is now, and then dye it magenta. And the fact that I have to do so much just to get to it, I hate to do all that and then I can't have that color hair, and then I have to go back and change it. That's a no. So yeah, I'm trying to decide if I am going to move forward with I need to wash my hair. If I'm going to do that Saturday or not, it really depends on the weather and how I feel when I wake up. Because if it feels good outside, ain't nobody trying to be in the house doing wash day. And if I am going to straighten it, go ahead and let this be my straighten, or if I'm going to wait and straighten it in April. I don't know. I feel like I might want to wait till April, only because at that point Jelly Bean will be a little older, and it may be a little bit easier to entertain her. She may even sleep a little longer, and I can get through it, because right now I feel like if I do it this weekend, it's gonna be an all-day process. I'm gonna have to take a break, and then I probably won't even get to really straighten it for real until like Sunday. And I know Sunday my husband isn't off, and so as of right now I cannot do wash day with just me and Dave. We tried it, and I feel like that could be the reason my scalp is acting up. And the only thing new was the shampoo and the conditioner, so I'm gonna try that again. What I actually put on my scalp is the same stuff. Well, no, I did put a different oil on my hair that I don't normally use, and that could be it. So I'm gonna spin the block, do the same thing all over again, and see what's the deal with that. And also, there could be a possibility that there was leftover shampoo on my scalp, and that could also be the issue. So yeah, so making sure I trim my hair, but also, like, I used to, if y'all remember, I used to detangle my hair at least once a week. At least once a week or every like couple of days. And I had stopped doing that because I was feeling like I wasn't being a true natural, because I was thinking that like I'm not supposed to have to detangle my hair so much, but you do, especially with my type of hair. My hair is thick, and my curl pattern is not loose, and so my hair tangles. So if I tangle it, so I tangled it last night, and then it'll be good since I braided it up. So it'll be good for me to go ahead and go in and style, and then once I wear it out in the style, then I kind of need to like detangle the ends a little bit, which I know that might not be the case once I trim my ends, but at least for right now I have to kind of detangle that because my hair is so thick and they kind of tangle on top of each other. So I know I at least have to do it maybe nightly, but not a full-on, like, take a long time to do. What am I trying to say? I don't know. Anyway, shouldn't have to take that long to do if I do it nightly, which will cut down on detangling right before wash day. But also, it'll be interesting to see once I do the split ends, if I'll have to just do it once a week or not. But I would do my braid outs or my twist outs, and then pretty much my twist outs. And I think it's the way I sleep too, because I don't put my hair in the pineapple like everybody says to do. And I should try that and see if that works. But after about 2 or 3 days, I do touch it up, but like after a while, I mean, I can't get it last a week. Let me not say that. But I think once I have to start touching up like a whole section, then I just go ahead and that's why we're where we are now. Because it was getting to the fact that I felt like I was having to touch up. Either it was because I had to touch up a whole section, or I just felt like my hair was really dry. One of the two. Anyways, but yeah, I have just been setting my hair up at night, which is moisturizing and sealing it and twisting it up and then styling it like that. But maybe I won't have to do that if my hair has held on to more of the moisture, then I wouldn't have to do that when it's in that, once I take it out that style. I don't know, you guys. Anywho's, oh, also before I forget, so on today's docket, we were supposed to go see two houses today for rent. And let me just state that I'm looking at houses for rent, townhouses or single family houses or whatever. So when I say houses, I don't want y'all to be like, oh, she about to buy a house. You would know. So this is all for rent. And so I had two on the schedule for today. One for 1 o'clock. Was it 1 o'clock? 1:30. 1 o'clock. No, 1 o'clock and one for 3 o'clock. So the plan was I already had clothes laid out because I want to look put together. And that's how I don't go out put together, but I was going to look like I look when I go to work. And do my hair and do my makeup, because I do really feel like, especially with a lot of these people are with the realtor people, I do feel like, and even with apartment people, because when I came and looked at the apartment that I looked at now, that I live out now, I was fresh from work. So I do think, not that it shouldn't be that way, but with the times that we're in, that I do feel like your appearance and how you look does kind of have people okay, so real quick, I'm back in the house. So what I was saying was I wanted to look nice because I do feel like when you go tour places that obviously it's kind of like a interview, so to speak, for the realtor or the property to really kind of see if they really want to rent to you. Like, you really could have all the funds and background and all of that, and then if they don't like the way you look, I mean, I don't know if this is true. This is me speculating, but they may not want to rent to you, especially in the places that I'm looking, because I'm not looking to stay in places that is a little one, because I have kids, and I'm, like I said, we're looking at houses, and I want them to be able to play, and it be safe for one, because I plan to be there for a while. Honestly, if it's a nice enough place, big enough, like spacious enough, and it really fits us, I plan to be there for a while, because honestly, I'm starting to feel that I'm not opposed at this moment to rent a house versus buying one. And that may change. But right now, with how high things are, I'm not opposed to renting a house for a while. And so I really hate to keep moving. Like, the whole joy of once you get into the new house is great, with the packing and the unpacking. Miss me with that. And the uncertainty of it and all that jazz, and especially with the kids being in school, um, we definitely gonna be there for a while, because he's he's going to middle school, and honestly, this is the top elementary school. I really didn't want him to change up schools, and I'm hoping, that's in my prayers, that he's able to still stay in the same school district, that it's not that far from my job, because I am the one who picks up the kids. And right now, everything is kind of in a line, and so, or a line or circle, if you will, like leave the house, go to the daycare, drop Daniel off, go to work. Like, it's all boom, and then I always go backwards back to the house. It makes perfect sense right now. And being able to get to my kids immediately is important. Now, granted, my husband could get to them if need be, but he needs to be second on the list because I'm the closest. Um, Not saying that he hasn't had, and he has had to go get Dane from school before because he was off and they called him, and I was, anyways, that's not the point I'm saying. So, in talking to God about things that I need this place to be, because we're going to be there for a while. And because he is going to middle school, if we have to change schools, this is definitely where I would like him to be to graduate, because at this point, middle school, you really start making those friends. And though he does have a best friend who lives here, and they go to school at the same school, but she's also moving as well. So it may be a possibility that they honestly do not go to the same school, which next year they wouldn't go to the same school anyway, because he's a grade younger than him. But they may not be in the same school district because we may be moving to different areas. But we still can get to each other. That's always been our thing, that we can still get to each other. But we're just knowing that at where we're trying, what our family needs now, that us being 2 seconds away may not work out anymore, and that's okay, because I'll still pull up. Give me 15 minutes, because honestly, that's the furthest that I'm willing to drive for my job anyway. It's 15 minutes. But anywho's, let me make this quick, because Jelly Bean's starting to wake up. So yeah. I'm looking in really nice areas, and honestly, people may, I'm already a woman of color, and so I don't want to look like stereotypical person of my culture. Um, because I'm not, I mean, I'm me, but I'm also, I want to feel safe. I want to enjoy going home. I don't want when I invite someone over that I'm ashamed of where I live. And I used to be that way, especially being in PTA, because I felt like because I don't live in a house that I wouldn't want to like invite certain people over, which I don't nowadays. I don't want a lot of people in my house anymore anyway. But I wouldn't, say where I lived because I felt like I was embarrassed because I still live in an apartment, which is wild. Because so what? Anywho's working through that as we speak. But I just want to live in a place that I'm okay with living for a long period of time. This was going to be the place that we were going to live until we bought a home. But then we had a new bundle of joy, and so that changed. More of the story of why I've got here. Anyway, so the plan was to drop Daniel off, and then immediately come back and start getting dressed because we had an appointment at 1, and I know now that at least we need, in the fact that I wanted to put makeup on and all that, I need at least 2 hours. That way I could get her, really me and her could get dressed in an hour together. But just being able to not feel rushed or feel frazzled, be able to get in the car in time, find the place since I've obviously never been there, and not have them waiting and me not be so frazzled and her being just, you know, um, only for, and they sent me a reminder saying don't forget about your tour at 7. I was like, cool. 8:06 they was like, oh, we canceled your tour, and I was offended, and their rationale was they had too many applicants, and I was offended at first, and then I realized, okay, again, we're working with relative people. It is a house, and honestly I think they were looking to have someone take over the lease immediately. And I gotta see if this is the one that I gotta make sure I wear a mask. I think that's the one we're gonna do at 3. I gotta look back at the message. But and I can see that, okay, so I'm just looking to tour and you have applications already in and you already trying to get this off the market, that obviously no, you're not willing to have me tour when you got people who are definite yes they want it. So I got it. I was offended for a second. And then I remembered I didn't even like the house for real. I didn't like the bathroom. I mean, not the bathroom. I didn't like the kitchen. The kitchen was weird. And me and my husband both didn't like it. So I was like, girl, why are you upset? God has already taken that off the list, and it wasn't really the price I wanted to pay either. And so I'm like, girl, chill out. And so that's what I'm also learning too. That sometimes, that not most times, you have to look at what no means no, because sometimes you can get offended and be like, oh my God, and you start thinking like, oh, this must be how it's gonna be. It's gonna be really hard to rent. No, look at it as that's not really what you wanted anyway. You know what price you really wanted to pay, and that was not it. Even though the one we're looking at is higher on the budget too, but my thought process is to look at things higher on the budget and see if, okay, with everything that comes with it, are you willing to kind of be at the higher end of your budget, and it has all the things you need, and that means pool things too, because I'm realizing that, y'all know we love to go to the pool, and so that's going to have to be another bill because I'm going to have to find a public pool. Um, whether, and I don't know how that works if we have to, because we like to go to the pool, and I don't want it to be like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, I really rather have something paid, and I know that when I go, I don't have to be like, oh girl, do you got the $4.50 type situation? I don't know, because we're pool people, and I like to be by the pool, so that's something else that I have to look into. And so again, putting that all into my prayers. And girl, you was just talking away. Now 7 minutes. Anywho's, it's a long clip. If you don't want to hear this, skip past. But y'all know how we do. So I'm just looking at things to see if, okay, even though this may be a little bit further than I want, but it has everything, just the compare and contrast. So just realizing that even if sometimes that, well, these people may be saying no, or they don't want to schedule a tour for me right now, there may be a reason why, and you're not even ready to move yet. You're just being ahead of the game. But it's also showing me that some people are ready for you to move immediately. And so I could easily, I think the earliest, my lease is up in June, and I really need to look at that. My lease is up in June, so I think the earliest I could move would be May or April. Saying that, girl, you gotta get a move on. But I need to look at, because if I could be out by June 1st, then I have to move by May, which means I got 2 months to solidify something. which isn't terrible because there are some. There was one lady who didn't want me to tour because she wanted somebody who was going to be moving by next month. So that lets me know that, because that was one of the things I was worried about. Like, what if I can't find something fast enough? So I think with me starting this process, I'm starting to, God is showing me the things that I have anxiety about. I don't need to be as worried about, and then He gonna work out the rest. Because baby, listen. Anywho, I said all that to say, I don't know why I said all that. I'm going to go ahead and get my child out this car seat, and then my sister's coming over at 11:30, and so it's given now since I talked to y'all that I'm not gonna take a nap. So it's given that I need to go ahead and get a shower because I know we get to talking. Actually, am I really saying that? Because I'm acting like we don't talk and get ready at the same time. Anywho's, bye y'all. So don't know if y'all can hear me because I'm doing laundry. But baby, this right here, the Arm& Hammer Baby, which is hyperallergenic detergent with no dyes and phosphates and all that. Baby, it smells just like a baby. It's about to be the new detergent because I was upset that we couldn't use Drift. Also, I'm coming, Cheryl. Remind me, hopefully I get to tell you guys about the new house that we looked at. Obviously, Kid can't tell you now because Jelly Bean is upset. But just remind me.